Wonderful, wonderful. You see what AmeriCorps can do? It can turn out great leaders. It's just fantastic. It really is. So we have a lot to celebrate about, and he alluded to something I want to just mention briefly to you about the creativity that we feel that's needed in all of our work. The resources are precious. The data and outcomes and impact are absolutely critical to prove the value of the work that you're doing. And we need an even sharper focus on some of the most pressing needs and issues of the day. So we've got to think creatively. So we've been doing a little bit of that at the Corporation for National Community Service. And one of them is in FEMA Corps. Many of you have heard about FEMA Corps, but FEMA Corps takes the power of AmeriCorps NCCC, unites it with FEMA in engaging 18 to 24-year-olds in disaster work, frontline, on the field with great training, and it gives a pathway for these young people right into emergency management or some kind of organizational skills set that they will develop to improve their likelihood of getting a job and raising a family or being an individual self-supporting. But what's most important that I've seen about FEMA Corps across the country since we started it, we have now about 800 FEMA Corps members serving across the country, and unfortunately I've had to see them doing some tough work in Oklahoma, in Hurricane Sandy, in the coast. They have been put to work immediately, which we didn't quite expect, but thank goodness they were there for us. But that partnership with FEMA is something that we did. We're really thinking outside the box in uniting service into one of our greatest needs across the country. School Turnaround AmeriCorps, another partnership with the Department of Education that will use AmeriCorps members to support schools most in need and help address one of our nation's most critical issues, and that's the dropout crisis. STEM AmeriCorps. This is a program where AmeriCorps members can recruit and engage citizen professionals, citizen volunteers from the science, technology, engineering, and math professions and recruit them into schools or some kind of academic or learning session or after school camps or summer camps where you're uniting these professionals. So they're getting our young people excited about STEM. We need them excited about STEM, and we know that when they get excited about STEM, their interest is raised in every level of their classwork. So that's what STEM AmeriCorps is about, and I was so pleased that President Obama at the recent White House Science Fair announced the concept of STEM AmeriCorps this past April, so look for good things to come from that. Other partnerships we're looking at, working with our veterans, helping our soldiers transition back into normalcy when they return from overseas, conserving our parks and lands. There's so many issues that we're interested in blending these needs and our assets with. But we really need you to tell us what you believe in your local communities are important to you. These are some things we're working on with you, in concert with you, but we need that creativity to be working very closely with you. You know the communities best. You know the strengths and assets that you have. You know the challenges that you're dealing with much better than we do. So I challenge you to think with us, be creative with us, and let's join our assets with the needs in the communities. A great example of this is a program I visited a couple weeks ago in Newton, Massachusetts. This is an RSVP program. It's called SOAR 55, Service Opportunities After Retiring at 55. Love the name. But a few years ago, SOAR 55, this RSVP program, kind of did a little bit of inward looking. And they said to themselves, what are our needs in the community, and how can we tap these wonderful RSVP volunteers who are bringing to us some pro bono skills-based assistance, aid, and consulting, and they're ready to provide service at a unique level. They were retiring from professions across the country, retiring to Newton, Massachusetts, and they needed to match this with a problem they had. The problem was many of their nonprofits were struggling with their capacity to serve and provide service and meet their mission and goals. So what did they need? Some professional consulting. So what the RSVP program did is match the RSVP consulting services of these wonderful skills-based members and volunteers, put together a nonprofit management consulting program, completed with rigorous training for volunteers, team-based projects, partnerships with local nonprofits, all done through the power of RSVP volunteers. These RSVP volunteers have completed 50 nonprofit consulting projects and lifted 50 organizations up and made them stronger. And they didn't stop with the plan. They backfilled it with more RSVP volunteers to help implement the program. So that is what I call creative thinking, and it came from the ground up. That's what I'm talking about when I ask you to think about blending your assets with needs in the community. I love that one. Another request I have of you is to think about going to your local elected officials and asking them, particularly mayors. I love working with mayors. Asking the mayors and elected officials, what do they see are the important needs in your towns and cities? Ask them how you can take your assets, your resources, your AmeriCorps programs, your Senior Corps programs, your volunteers, your faith and community leaders. How can you blend it with the mayor? And I'll give you an example. I was in, just 2 weeks ago, I was in Manchester, New Hampshire. And we were at the Chamber of Commerce. We had gathered together some businesses, faith leaders, national service leaders, to talk about a dialogue around the economy. And the Mayor Gatsas was with us. And he stayed with us the entire time. And at the end of our session, I turned to the mayor and I said, Mr. Mayor, you've heard wonderful testimony here of what national service and volunteerism is doing in your community. And you hear support from the business sector as well. What problem has faced you recently that we can take the wonderful human capital resource and engage in? He didn't even pause. He said, Wendy, I've got something I need. We have just invested in a learning lab for our high school students. We've put a lot behind this, a lot of resources behind it, a lot of planning went in it, but we have something missing. We don't have any volunteers to help teach the young students how to use the learning lab. This is a big gap. We've got a wasted resource until we have that support. I need volunteers. So we said, we're on it. And a VISTA member is probably rolling in this afternoon to go and help and recruit volunteers and make sure that need is met, to make sure that these young students become successful in their learning lab and they graduate successfully from high school and go on to college if that's their choice. That is creativity, and that's from a direct ask of the mayor. So think about going to your leaders and taking the benefits of what you have to offer and asking them, how can you help? And then earlier I mentioned your input, and this is very important to me and all of us at the Corporation for National and Community Service. We need to hear from you. So we've prepared tomorrow for a fireside chat that's going to look a little bit different. The first half of the fireside chat is going to be pretty exciting. We have 3 First Ladies from Maine, Nebraska, and Rhode Island. In fact, I'm happy to say Sally Gannum from Nebraska is with us here today and spending the day with us. Welcome, Ms. Gannum. And Ms. Chafee and Ann LePage are joining us this evening. They'll be at the reception. Find me tonight, and I'll introduce you to them. But they're going to talk from the heart tomorrow about their connection to national service and volunteerism. We're going to hear from the First Ladies. Then the second portion of our day, our morning, is going to be in breakout sessions by table topics with Corporation for National and Community Service staff staffing them. And that is your time to tell us how we can help you do your jobs and your service better. So I want you to take from now until tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock and start thinking about what you want to share with us. This is our opportunity to fuel our souls on what your best ideas, your solutions, your input is, and we really want it. And I don't want it to stop tomorrow. I want to encourage you. We have state office directors and teams covering every state in the country. I want to encourage you to communicate as frequently as you can with our state team members throughout the country. They're there for you to support you, and they want to hear from you. So continue that great communication you've done, and I encourage you to step it up and continue to communicate with them. And then as I close and we go into a fabulous panel, I want you to think about, John Bridgeland this morning asked us to be bold in our thinking and our actions. And I want us to be bold. We have heard from this morning we heard from three senators who have said, tell your story. Come to us and share the successes that you have. Senator Coons, Senator Kane from Virginia, and Senator Coates from Indiana, all have given us this advice today. Wouldn't it be great if we shared our story with every member of Congress, with every governor, with every mayor, with every Chamber of Commerce leader, with every United Way leader? Get the stories out, and let's do that in 213. That's a bold idea and a bold statement, and I hope you'll join me in doing so as you tell the stories, because as I travel, I hear amazing stories. Many of your stories make me cry and many make me laugh, but they are compelling, and I want everyone to know about it. So leaders are in a position to support us and join us. So thank you so much for being here today. This is a bold time for all of us. There's a lot of great work going on. You're in the center of it, and I'm here to help you. God bless each one of you. Thank you so much.